If you're in your 30s, you really want to watch this video. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise. In this channel, I discuss personal finance, investing, and all the while surviving in a multi-generational family. If these topics sound like something you want to learn more about, I would much appreciate it if you consider subscribing and also hitting that like button. And if you have yet to download your free copy of the Standard Generation's Guide to Financial Security, 10 Steps to Securing Your Family's Financial Future, please go to my website at financialtortoise.com and do so. I send out weekly newsletters with other great tips on mastering your money, and I wouldn't want you to miss them. Our 30s are completely different compared to our 20s. For many of us, it's the decade in our lives when we really feel like adults. Many of us get married, have kids, and take on big responsibilities at work. So, given all that is going on, it is easy to fall into many silent money traps. Traps that silently creep into our lives, and before we know it, we're trying to dig ourselves out in our 40s. So if you want to avoid it, follow along with me with some of the most common money traps to avoid in your 30s. And to make you feel any better, I've fallen into many of them myself. Number one on our list is trying to look successful. Our 20s are oftentimes marked with the theme of exploration. We're fresh out of college and are trying to find ourselves in the big wide world. We don't necessarily have the pressure to look successful because all of us are trying new things and figuring out what we want to do with our lives. But in our 30s, that changes. For many of us, we start to feel the pressure to look successful. I mean, when we tell someone that we're in our 30s, we don't feel like a kid anymore. We're full-fledged adults, right? We want to show everyone around us that we have made it and that we're doing well for ourselves. I remember distinctly when my son was born. I was 32 years old, and for some weird reason, I had an image in my mind that I needed a new SUV. Not just any SUV, but a Volvo CX-90. Maybe I saw it in a magazine many years before. An image of a family taking a trip in one of these cars. It symbolized not only providing a safe mode of transportation for my family, but signaled to everyone else that I was a kind of dad that could provide financially for his family. Thankfully, the better sense got a hold of me, and I restrained myself from falling into this inner pressure. I was trying to pay off my $105,000 of student loan at the time, and a new car would have looked ridiculous. But this is a common pressure that many people in their 30s feel often. We can carry on driving a beater in our 20s because we're trying to find our place in the world. But the world tells us that by the time we hit our 30s, we should have found our place. And a way to signal that to the world is with nice things that make us look successful. It takes conscious effort to fight this social pressure. I mean, how ridiculous would it have been if I was driving around a $70,000 car when I still had over 6 figures in student loans, right? You don't need to look successful in your 30s. Actually, be successful by saving and investing that hard-earned money. The world doesn't care as much as we think it does. Another silent money trap that many of us fall into our 30s is still having our fun, but quite expensive friends. We all have them. The party starts when they arrive. They know just the right restaurant to go to for your 35th birthday. They're going to Miami for the weekend, and you'd be crazy to miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's not that these friends aren't fun. The problem is that these friends can be expensive to keep up with. And we all know peer pressure is real. We want to do what everyone else is doing, and if this means spending money that we don't have, then so be it, right? But this is where we want to be extra careful in our 30s. This is the time we want to get real serious with our finances. And in order to do that, we can't spend like there is no tomorrow like some of our friends. They might have more disposable income than you do, or just a more relaxed perspective of money. But that doesn't mean you need to continually try to keep up with them. If we know who they are, actively try to limit the amount of money and time we spend with them. If that's impossible, it might be time to get more frugal friends. Number 3 silent money trap to avoid in your 30s is buying an expensive home. And this is very closely tied to the first silent money trap that we covered earlier, the desire to look successful. And nothing says success louder than home ownership. For generations, home ownership has been touted as the American dream. It symbolizes stability and wealth. And rightly so, given it comes with several practical benefits such as the ability to build home equity and location stability for the family. However, we can take this reasoning too far to justify purchasing homes that might be way over our comfortable budget. When you're shopping for a home, you'll have to work with many individuals ranging from bank lenders to a real estate agent. Their incentive will be to sell you as much house as possible because it means bigger piece of the pie for them. And it's hard to see the scale of the financial obligation we're getting into with homes because most often we're financing them with long-term 15 to 30-year loans. I have seen too many young families buying a home because they feel emotionally connected to it without really comprehending that they'll be stuck with a hefty mortgage debt for the next 3 decades of their lives. Home buying will likely be the biggest financial purchase that any of us will make in our lives. So we should think really hard about the financial consequences before jumping into it. Number 4 silent money trap to avoid in our 30s is to continuously ignore financial literacy. It might be somewhat forgivable to not invest in our financial literacy in our 20s. I mean, we're busy meeting new people, seeing new places, and experiencing new things, right? And because we don't have much money to begin with, the consequences of our lack of financial literacy are actually limited. However, if we don't invest in developing a sound base of financial literacy in our 30s, they can have dire consequences that will echo through the rest of our lives, like having a basic understanding of credit score and its impact on interest rates. Imagine you're about to get a bank loan for a home mortgage, but you didn't invest the time to understand credit score. So instead of getting a 3% loan, you're going to get a 4% loan instead. You might dismiss it as, oh well, how much could 1% hurt, right? And you just signed the dotted line for that home mortgage. Well, how about $100,000? Would that wake you up? Some surveys report that nearly 2/3 of Americans can't pass a basic financial literacy test. We don't know how to improve our credit score. We don't know how to budget. We don't know the fundamentals of investing. 30s are a busy time. You're getting promoted in your career. You're building a family. You have heavy responsibilities. But don't let that be an excuse to not invest in your financial literacy. If you're watching videos like this, you're already ahead of the curve. So great job. But take it a step further by picking up personal finance books so you can harness the power of financial literacy and leverage that against the financial industry. I'll have a link to a few of my favorite personal finance books below in the description for your reference. Number 5 silent money trap is a real dangerous one if you really want to build wealth. And that is not investing in the market. Investing sounds and feels complicated. It conjures up images of complex mathematical formulas and really serious looking people evaluating fancy charts on a computer screen. But it only sounds and feels complicated because the financial industry is working hard to make you feel that way. It's the ultimate financial marketing machine at work. And what happens to many of us is that we get so overwhelmed and we never pull the trigger to investing in the market. And this can be detrimental to your wealth. If you're in your 30s and you have yet to invest any money in the market, you're not being very generous to your future self. I guarantee you that when you're in your 60s and 70s, you'll regret not having invested in the market sooner because you're scared. Having cash is good, but it will not build substantial wealth. It loses its value over time due to inflation. Thus, you want the market to work for you to compound your money over time. And the sooner you begin, the better. And this doesn't mean go out and start buying all Tesla stocks. No, you want to purchase low-cost index funds like VTSAX or other similar funds. I won't go into all the details here, but please check out my video here to learn more. Number 6 silent money trap to avoid in your 30s is not investing in your career. And what I mean by this is really investing and developing your career capital. 20s are a great time to explore your career options. You want to throw things against the wall to see what sticks, meet new people, and explore what the world has to offer. However, as you get into your 30s, you want to start doubling down in your career field so you can start growing your income potential. I've seen too many people who are approaching their careers in their 30s in the same way as their 20s. They're still trying out this job and that without really sticking to one, giving it enough time and persistence to maximize its income potential. I know people who have tried 5 different career paths, spending money in education, but still not having made much traction in any one of them by the time they're in their 30s. And without a strong career path, your income potential is limited. And this limits your ability to save and invest more towards building wealth. I also know many other individuals who have persistent investing in their career paths throughout their 30s and have sometimes doubled or tripled their income. And this was because they were able to build a solid foundation of career capital. Cal Newport, the author of So Good They Can't Ignore You, defines career capital as this. Career capital are the skills that you have that are both rare and valuable and that can be used as leverage in defining your career. This could look like being an accredited, well-established accountant with solid experience at a reputable accounting firm. You have the potential to leverage your career capital to negotiate for a higher salary or even go part-time to spend more time with the family. It could also look like a specialized registered nurse who have solid experience in bedside nursing at a large established hospital. You have the ability to leverage your career capital at any other similar hospitals for better pay or better hours. But not investing in your career in your 30s means you don't have this career capital. And without strong career capital, it'll be hard to have that wealth momentum through your 40s and 50s. Number 7 silent money trap to avoid in your 30s is not starting the money conversation with your aging parents. Growing up, have you ever had the birds and bees conversation with your parents? Well, let me tell you, the money conversation with your aging parents will be far worse. Whether we like it or not, as we age, so will our parents. And as our parents age, unless our parents have meticulously planned out their finances and share the plans with you, there might come a time when you might need to deal with some of the messy aspects of their finances. I personally prefer to get ahead and have the conversation at my pace and timing versus down the line due to an emergency. And you might be surprised, some aging parents are eager to have these conversations with their adult children. They themselves have thought about it, but do not know where to start. They might be relieved that you're bringing up the topic. You're not going to cover all topics overnight. It could take months or even years. But if you take the initiative to start today, you prevent the conversation by crisis down the line. If you like more details on how to talk to your aging parents, check out my video here where I go more in detail. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, all the best.